Hello, it's Polish Paul VR, welcome to the channel. In today's news we're going to talk about some upcoming PSVR2, Quest 2 and 3 and PC VR games, but also Meta shoots one of its biggest studios and the developers are not happy with Apple. All that in this video. Before I start, if you want to subscribe, then subscribe, it helps the channel a lot. Like the video, share it with your friends, that would be awesome. And now, let's go. We beginning from Apple Vision Pro because that's quite interesting topic. As Apple Vision Pro is a headset kind of, I don't know, it's aimed probably mostly for work, but also they want, I think, some games on it. I mean, I wouldn't spend that much money on it. I would just buy, you know, PC, good PC and, I don't know, Quest or PSVR2 now and have it that way. But anyway, there is developers who are trying to make the game for this headset, but sadly they getting really pissed off with Apple and they spoke about it to mobilegamer.biz. And what they saying is that I'm quoting, the technical support is awful, the worst I have seen anywhere. They are unable to offer any insights into how the hardware and the software it runs on works, or how essential middleware is meant to work with it. Developing for Vision Pro is like going back in time 10 years because despite the advertised power and the cost, it is not a machine built for gaming. Getting any complex games to work on the platform is very difficult. That's why other day I was like looking at this brand new game for Apple Vision Pro from Shell Games, which you can see it now in the background, and I was like, that just looks like a bit of a dog shit. But anyway, the other developer said that Apple actually approached them and they asked them to make the game for their Vision Pro, but they didn't give them any money, any funding, or even any support at all, and the developers say all of that was just baffling. If you look at other side of the spectrum, where you've got Meta, which pumps money into VR, but also Sony, even though Sony maybe don't have as many exclusive coming now, we are hearing stories from the developer that Sony helped them to port their game to PSVR2. Not looking for legendary tales, Sony reached out to them, helped them, you know, Sony offers financial support. And I mean Meta, we don't even have to speak about it because Zook just pumps the money into the games for this headset. And that's gonna move us to another topic, which is actually Meta closing its biggest, well, I don't know if it's biggest, but let's say their AAA studio. I'm talking here about Ready at Dawn. So this is the studio that was funded by ex-Naughty Dog employers, and they've been making games for, you know, your Vita and, you know, like let's say spin-offs of the game for Sony's peripherals or smaller consoles. But eventually, when PS4 was upon us, they made The Order. Even though maybe the game wasn't most popular, definitely showcased the power of PlayStation 4 OG, and it was maybe one of those titles that show the capabilities of this team and how cool they can make the game looks and stuff like that. So after that, Facebook, now Meta, reached out to them and they made Lone Echo, Echo Arena, Lone Echo, or Echo shall I say, two and very popular titles, but you know, Lone Echo, that was proper PCVR title back in the day when Meta was supporting Rift, before let's say the standalone revolution at Meta happened. But since Meta went standalone, looks like this studio didn't kind of transition to standalone. Looked like they just was struggling, maybe, I don't know, to make anything. They didn't release the game for ages, and maybe they just couldn't work with such a limited power. I don't know, but anyway, Meta said, well, fuck it, we're gonna just close you down, and that's what happened. It is a shame, especially with studio history and very good games. I mean, Lone Echo, when it's first released, it was not short from revolutionary. Looking at the, you know, hands animations, character animations, the assets they used, it was the pinnacle of VR. So I think they kind of struggle after that. But what we can do, Meta closed that studio, saying that it doesn't mean that Meta maybe gonna stop making games, because of course we got a Batman VR game upcoming, They're gonna showcase some stuff in September, I'm assuming, in their showcase, but maybe this was something what basically had no projects and been eating their money. And as we know, Meta have to answer to investors as well, and even though they do make money, their Reality Labs division, Meta spends more money than makes on VR so far. Anyway, speaking about Quest, and now let's talk about Zero Caliber 2, maybe one of the bigger games that released for this headset lately. So after the feedbacks and after people's impression, Zero Caliber 2 received the brand new update. They released the patch 1, but they saying patch 2 will follow next week. So in this update they made it easier to level up, so people can level up faster. They let you skip the tutorial and also they introduced plenty of bug fixes, and for all of you Gunstocks owners, they added Pro Volver and Force Tube support. Now Force Tube, of course, that's gonna add loads to immersion because of the sheer power that it punches, so that's pretty cool. And also they doing in patch 2, they actually said few bits what they're gonna do next week, and they're gonna improve the graphics, and they're gonna make some fixes for their big haptics game gear, and also they're gonna do some stuff with some modded maps. Very nice. Moving on to PlayStation VR 2 and Meta Quest as well, we're gonna speak about the long-awaited game, which is Undead Citadel, a physically based combat game with some story missions, and a lot of people actually put a lot of hope in this game. There was few issues to sort out after the launch on PC, but the developer says even though the difference maybe is not as visible in recent build, the difference is big. Anyway, also what they're saying is that they soon announce the release date for both Meta Quest. They then said which one, so we don't know if it's 2, 3 and Pro or just 3, I don't know, and PlayStation VR 2. We know the wait can be tough, but rest assured, we haven't forgotten our PSVR 2 users. We finalizing the last details. So if you love those type of games, and maybe if you want something like Swordman, but more with the progression system, and you know, like a levels what you actually travel through, and maybe if you just cannot wait for Blade and Sorcery, which I don't know if it's even gonna release on PSVR 2, or maybe you don't want to wait so long for Hellsplit Arena, because the developer said Hellsplit Arena coming, but next year, 2025, then Undead Citadel, which hoping that it will come soon, as the developer saying, this will be the game you want to check out. And now let's talk about Stride Fates for all the platforms. This game kind of had a very hyped up, let's say, launch, and it kind of fell flat on its teeth. So what's happened is here, the developer finally updated the game to what players want. So they enhanced weapon interaction mechanics, they improved hand animations, they upgraded climbing and grabbing mechanics, they added the new gun skins, and shit tons of bug fixes and other minor improvements. You can see the trailer at the bottom, and this is the, let's say, original Stride was kind of revolutionary, but it was a while ago. The VR moved forward a lot, so now they need to they need to catch up, and that seems what they're doing. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, super appreciate it. If you don't subscribe, then subscribe, it's always better when it's more of us. I've had some comments from PSVR 2 owners. Of course, PSVR 2 not going anywhere from this channel, but because the adapter is here, released on PC, I'm covering PC as well, and because a lot of games are for every single platform, I'm including now every single headset on this channel, but I'm not forgetting about my PSVR 2 roots, and definitely gonna still cover PSVR 2 on PlayStation 5 as well, but everyone is welcome now. PC VR, Pico, Quest, everyone, just come here. Okay, so for now that's it. Bye 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 bye.